Good afternoon, everyone. It is I, Eric Cummings, your instructor, and welcome to our final chat. The objective of this week is to, you guessed it, submit a strong compare and contrast essay, set of drafts. Now, you'll notice I said set of drafts. It's not necessarily up the final draft week. You're going to submit your rough draft and final. All right, and the last weekly writing warm up and discussion. Don't worry, you're going to do just fine. But I want to make something clear. That credible resources worksheet we worked on, everyone remembers it. I had to have 3 sources in APA format with quotes, paraphrasing and stuff, summary. That is going to be very important. You are going to need it. It is going to help us. How? Well, simple. You will utilize that set of sources to fashion your thesis and make the main argument for the compare and contrast essay. The last thing any of us want to do is create an essay that only explores what we think. No, we need to look at outside sources. What is our audience going to think if we just share opinions? That's not fair. Think about it. That's not fair to them at all. Instead, the better point is to give them that which they could not find elsewhere. All right? A synthesis of sources, okay? Information designed to help them see an idea that would not have been easy to notice otherwise. So, we're going to go into the basics of how this is going to be set up. And guess what? Hopefully, you'll be able to look at the assignment with a little bit of ease, or at least less stress. All right, so it's got to have a thesis. Body paragraph set of 3. We need that. We do. We need it bad. It's going to have a conclusion. But wait. Also an introduction. Now, everyone here has written an essay before, so you know the lay of the land here. The thing to keep in mind is time. Trying to knock everything out at the last minute, like an hour before the course ends, is going to be the worst thing you could do. Because this essay requires outside research. None of these components can be made without outside research. Okay? Otherwise, it won't be a research-based compare and contrast essay. So, something to remember. Your sources need to be utilized. Now, the thesis statement you will make based on that credible resources document. The idea is to take all 3 of your sources and create something new, something that only seems to emerge when you consider all 3 of the sources. Okay? Now, if you're like, hey, wait. Do I really need to spend time with those sources? The answer is yes. All of those sources deserve your attention. Okay? They all deserve your attention. Utilize them. Okay? Because if you utilize them, you're going to have a lot to talk about as opposed to general knowledge. And I don't think any of you really want to just talk about general knowledge in regards to your topic. You're not really teaching readers anything they couldn't figure out on their own. Okay? Cool. Now, take a gander at this. A weak thesis statement. This statement type is one I come across often. Why? Because the thesis at times feels like something you don't really have to put a lot of time into. That's not true, but it can feel that way. And this is the thesis you get. Apple juice is different when compared to orange juice. What's wrong with this current thesis? Well, folks, it gives readers something they essentially could have figured out on their own. Folks know this. Most folks have, you know, come across orange juice and apple juice. So, seeing how they're different is not necessarily difficult. Now, I'm not saying you cannot use this thesis as a starting point. It can be a starting point, but you're essentially going to have something that looks totally different. Okay? So, let's pretend for a minute, just for a moment, this was my starting thesis. If you notice the strong thesis that says when it comes to a versatile ingredient for cooking, oranges are better than apples because the latter is sweeter, the former is tartar, and it can potentially tenderize meat. Right, right, right. Nothing wrong with that thought. Nothing. The thing is, all right, and this is important. The thing is, it looks drastically different from what I had before. That idea is so important, so very important. All right. We want to have a complex thesis because it gives us a lot to mess with. Now, I want you to work on creating your own thesis statement. Your thesis, as I said, has to, and I'll say it again, it has to examine the outside sources together. Okay, and it can't just summarize. We don't want to just summarize what we found. Instead, we really want to look at the main picture all three are pointing at. And guess what? And this is really good. If you do it right, you can't pull one source away without detracting from the main meaning. Okay? Now, this may take some time, it'll take effort, and I assure you, your brain will hurt. That is okay. That means you are really working it. And that is a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with really working your minds. Nothing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, okay? Now, if you're like, hey, I do require some additional assistance with this thesis making project, please let me know. All right? And if you're like, starting points, where can we begin? You can start with the thesis you submitted in the outline, okay? That thesis you submitted is a starting point. It's okay to use that. Just remember, it's going to look drastically different once you put everything together. All right, folks, I'm going to let you go for right now, and I cannot wait to see what you produce. Take care, and I'll see you in the chat.